Well, hello there, everyone. It's been a while since I made a video, and you can all thank Craig for that over at Great Wolf Fitness because he tagged me in a video about vlogging, and I don't vlog, but I wanted to do something special for it, and I came up with all these ideas, and they kept not happening because that's essentially how all videos go for me. I was gonna do like some vlogging type footage at my daughter's birthday party. Well, then that didn't happen, so I thought the next weekend I'll do lifting, and then we're gonna go out to eat, and then we're gonna do some more lifting, and then we're gonna play some Dungeons and Dragons. That'd be kind of neat. Didn't happen. And yeah, so now over a month later, I'm like, oh wait, I should probably make a video. So why did you start vlogging? I did not. If you're asking about YouTube, I started YouTube because I needed a place to put a video that I could link it to my family to show them what I did for the year of 2012 in Strongman. Facebook wouldn't let me because the video was too big. Photobucket wouldn't host it. And finally, I ended up putting it on YouTube. And so now I have a YouTube channel. And that was posted like January of 2013, something like that. So I've been on YouTube for a while. And I'm posting way less than I used to. What are the biggest difficulties? Actually putting the stuff on a computer and editing it. So it has been about 4 weeks since I've actually gone upstairs and turned on my computer, which I do editing on. And when you're working out and you can't do live anymore, so you have to record a bunch of sets, which means breaking up the set, going over, setting up the camera, turning it on, and then coming in and editing it all. And I just haven't felt like it. And unfortunately, that means no videos. So that's the difficult part, is finding time and motivation to do that. What do you love about it? I don't love anything about the process of making videos. Now, in terms of why have I stayed on YouTube, I really like the 10 or so people that actually show some support. So you guys know who you are. I appreciate it. And it's really cool to see other people where they are in their fitness journey or their lifting or their dieting. I watch a bunch of different channels. And so it's pretty cool. Now, that is it for the tag. I'm not going to tag anybody because most channels I watch aren't vlogging. And I don't know, those 3 questions. Most of them have answered why they do YouTube. So I'm going to talk about the diet. Now, for those of you who are keeping track, I am midway through week 7 of the reverse diet. And in one of my last videos, it's kind of hard to remember because it was so long ago, I said I was going to make a dieting video. I've decided to push that back another 2 months because I want to make sure this process works before I make a whole video talking about all these things I learned about dieting if I fail. So we're going to wait on that. Now, how the reverse diet process works is every week I add more calories, and it's actually more strict than dieting. When I was dieting, I had cheat days. With reverse dieting, those had to go away. So I started the reverse dieting process at 237.6 pounds. So that's when I officially said the diet is over. And now 7 weeks later, I've actually been hovering between 236 and I got down to 231.8. So it's kind of interesting. Monday I add calories. So my weight goes up for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then it drops Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And it's been consistent that way every single week so far. So this week we'll see. I have added 620 calories. Now this is a really interesting thing that I want to kind of go over. So I had mentioned that I was doing like 1750 calories, right? Well, then when I was trying to plan the reverse diet, I went and checked Qdoba, and they changed a whole bunch of stuff. And of course, there's no notifications or anything, but their queso went from 90 calories to 190 calories for the same serving. And that's why I say, whenever you go out, you don't control the calories. You just have no idea. But I eat it every day, so it's consistent. I didn't need to change anything. It's just I do 2 scoops of that. So that was an extra 100 calories per scoop. So that was 200 calories extra. And yeah, that kind of threw a kink in it, so I had to kind of figure that out. But I'm going to try and do this on the board. I'm not sure how well this is going to come up. Oh, it's completely backwards. That's not going to work at all. Oh, I thought it was going to be so cool, but because I have the camera facing at me instead of the other way, it's not going to work. So when I recalculated everything and refixed it out, I increased the rice. So the calories for rice assumed 4 ounces, but I think Qdoba was giving me a little bit more. So I calculated it out to, if a serving's 4 ounces, 1.25 servings. So that bumped my starting calories to 2,084. So this is the end of the diet. I was at 2,084 calories, 128.8 protein, which is really low, 206 grams of carbs, and 81.65 grams of fat. And that is because I did not care at all about my macros, which was a mistake, but I wasn't going to give up pop. My first week of the reverse diet, I gave up pop. So now I'm only having pop on Saturday if we go see a movie. And I have increased 620 calories so far, 77 grams of protein, 64 grams of carb, and 13 grams of fat. So that puts my total daily calories right now at 2,705. I'm at 205 grams of protein. I'm at 270 grams of carbs and basically 88 grams of fat. And that's kind of what I've been doing. So one of the things that made me want to give up pop is not because of taste or anything else. It's because 2 of my friends have now developed type 2 diabetes. That's a lot of sugar, and I wanted to bring it down. So what I found out is there's something called added sugars. So added sugars are things that are not natural in the food. So banana has no added sugars. It only has natural sugars, and there's no limit on natural sugars. But the limit for added sugars should be less than 10% of your total calories from that. So 1 gram of sugar is equal to 4 calories. So you take sugar times 4, and that number, divide that by your total calories. That's your percentage. It should be less than 10%. General guidelines is men should be at under 37.5 grams. I looked at my sugar. My total sugar for the day was 134.9, so 135, and 123.7 of that was added sugar. So, yeah, that's way up. And what's funny about that is that's after I cut way down on the pop and the cookies and all that stuff. So that was still really high. And I wanted to get that under control. So right now, I've been actually adding fruit back in. So my total sugar is not that much lower. I'm at 111. But only 24 grams of that is added sugar. So that's well below 10%, well below the 37.5. So that was step 1, and that was accomplished the first week of the reverse dieting process. And then I really wanted to get my protein back closer to 1 gram per, I'm not going to go body weight, but at least lean body weight. So I wanted to get to 200 and then start worrying about carbs and getting those back up. So getting that to 205, that was accomplished by week 4. Actually, I was around 200 and then been adding a little bit of stuff here and there. And then the next problem, which is something I never looked at before, was sodium. And sodium is something you need, and I generally wouldn't worry about it a whole lot, except for all of a sudden on week 5, I was feeling like a water balloon. Like I felt gross. My neck was swollen, my face was swollen, my hands looked like balloons. I was like, what is going on? So I looked at it, and the daily recommended amount is 2,300 milligrams, so 2,300, right? I was at 6,804. And I was like, holy crap. So I went back and I figured out when I was on the diet, I was at 4,165. Okay, so that's still over the amount. I'm not too concerned about it. I don't have any blood pressure issues. But I had added 2,700 basically, just a little bit under that, which is way too much. So I brought that way back down, and a lot of it was because I was adding vegetables and stuff, and all of the vegetables I get canned because I don't have time to prepare stuff and it's way more expensive. everything you add has a bunch of sodium. So now I'm washing those. I gave up a scoop of cheese at Qdoba and brought that under control. Next thing is I started looking at potassium and reading all these health benefits. I knew I needed to eat fruit because I've never really eaten fruit consistently in my life. And I've probably eaten more fruit in the last 2 weeks than I have the last 4 years, maybe 5. And potassium, depending on where you look, the recommended daily intake is 3,500 milligrams to 4,700 milligrams. I was getting 1,866, so that's pretty bad. And I am now up to 4,605, so I'm almost to that 47, and I'm beating the 35. So that's been kind of neat. And then I started looking at fiber. I was like, yeah, how much am I supposed to have? And apparently guys are supposed to have 38, basically, but it's 14 grams per 1,000 calories you eat. I was only getting 8.15. So I added fruit, right, and some veggies. I'm at 30.58 now, so I still got a ways to go on that. But I kind of wanted to wait and make this video until I got my blood work back. And I finally got it back Monday, so 2 days ago now. And my cholesterol's still high. Now, of course, I've only been eating healthy for 7 weeks, but I still wasn't eating that healthy for 3 of those weeks. I'm kind of getting there now. So my cholesterol's still high, but it's less high than it was. But I found out they changed all the target numbers, which is really obnoxious. But my total cholesterol's at 207. I think it's milliliter per deciliter. And you want to be under 200. My HDL's finally good. My HDL has really been bad the last 3 years that I've gotten it checked. But I'm at 43, which is still on the low end, but it's above the you're unhealthy range. My triglycerides are finally down. They're supposed to be under 150. I was at 105. And every time I've gotten my blood work done since 2014, it's been over 150. So that was kind of cool. My LDL is still high, but this is where they changed it, right? So the target was to get under 130. And I started in 2014, and the next couple ones, I've been in the 150 to 170 range. I think 177 was my highest. And I'm at 142. So I got a lot closer to that 130. But now Quest is you got to be under 100. So I'm going to work on that. I found out the one thing that I'm not eating any of, which I wasn't eating fruit before and this, but I'm not eating any whole grains. So that's on the agenda for next week to try and add in. We'll see how that goes. I'm not a big grains type person, so we'll see if that helps any. But increasing soluble fiber and getting whole grains is supposed to help lower your LDL. I'm going to ask my doctor to let me get my blood checked again in 3 months so I can see how the diet has worked on whether or not it's actually lowering any of those numbers. And yeah, I've been doing a ton of research on food. So I'm going to make the diet video. I'm going to go into how to structure your diet, what helped me be successful with it, hopefully how the reverse dieting process works because I didn't know about it before. That's the big thing that I'm learning now. And so today I weighed in at 235.6. Okay, and I was 235.6 yesterday and 235.6 on Monday. So that's after adding the calories. Again, I started the reverse diet at 237.6, so I'm still down from where I started eating more. So I'm eating 620 calories more per day, and my weight is still down lower than where I ended the diet at. And generally, as I said, on the weekend, I get down to 233. And I've gotten down to 231.4 was the lowest, but I've had 3 weeks where I actually ended up being down in the 231s for Saturday. So all in all, I mean, the process is going pretty well. How the workouts are going, I have completely created a brand new program using a couple of things that I like. The plan is to get the strength back to where it needs to be by June. I don't think I'm going to hit all of my old maxes, but I want to be as close to that as possible. and then we're going to test all the maxes the week of the birthday, because you got to max on your birthday. And then from there, I'm going to design a new program for the next couple months. We're going to make a decision whether we're going to try and do any strongman competitions or not. And I don't want to go too much in depth on the programming right now because this video is already too long. So if you have any questions on the programming and what I'm doing, I can either answer it or I can make a whole video on that, depending on what you guys want to see. But that is it for this video. Thank you all for checking in. I hope everything's going great. You might want to check what your, not macros, but your fiber, your potassium, your sodium, and sugar, especially added sugars, are at. I think it's a good idea to at least be aware of where you are. Whether or not you want to change that, that's up to you. But go lift something heavy.